Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com with Finster, who is not executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, but she's very excited, aren't you? Yes, can't you tell? Oh my goodness, and there's Mildred. They're both with us. Isn't that amazing? To welcome, to celebrate. You want to get down? No, you're okay? You want to give a little bit of support there. To celebrate the re-release at last of Dick Hyman's complete Joplin piano works. Go ahead, dear. Good girl. I mean, can you believe it? I have been screaming about this for, I don't know, 10 years, 20 years, begging RCA to release it. Then when they joined Sony and they got together, they said, get this out there. Get it out there now. And Jed Disler, who is friendly with Dick Hyman, who knows him quite well, and who understands piano music better than any human being on the planet, has also been asking them to release this. Why did it take so long? I just don't get it. I mean, this is the classic, iconic set of the complete Joplin piano works. I mean, not only do you get the complete Joplin piano works, you get Dick Hyman's improvisations on the Joplin piano works, which are marvelous because he's a genius improviser, and you get also Eubie Blake, who at the age of 92 read and played the Joplin School for Ragtime, or School of Ragtime. It's 6 little tiny etudes with explanatory information about how to play ragtime, and Eubie Blake does it. It's just, I mean, he knew Joplin. It's just so fabulous that this thing existed, and we don't, it was like, it was disappearing. I mean, there was one disc of excerpts from it. It's true. There was. But the whole thing, it was on 5 LPs originally. It's on 3 CDs. And I am beyond excited. And so are Mildred and Finster. And if Mildred and Finster are that thrilled, then you know it matters. It really does. It has the cat seal of approval. Never mind me. Now, why is this important? Why is this one of the most important recording projects ever? Well, you know, when Joplin's music was popularized in the 1970s, the pianist in question was Joshua Rifkin, who had a very, very different style, kind of laid back, not as rhythmically perky. I just think these performances are so much more idiomatic. And there have been other complete Joplin, sets as well since then. They really have, on various labels, but nothing to match this in terms of pianistic aplomb and completeness and just love for the music. Joplin was a really important composer. We don't think about him that way because ragtime, the style ragtime, was immediately subsumed into the wider world of popular music, into other popular music piano genres like stride piano and other things like that, and jazz more generally. And so Joplin faded into the sunset until his music was revived in the 70s, and from then he's been extremely popular. He was the American Chopin. Who are we kidding? He really believed that ragtime was a classical art form. It deserved better than to be played on honky-tonk pianos in bars. He spent his life trying to make a reputation as a composer of opera, actually. We know his one opera, Treemonisha. There's another that he wrote originally that was lost. He really wanted to be taken seriously, and his music deserves to be taken seriously. If you listen to Eubie Blake talking about the School of Ragtime, these etudes, the instructions, I just have to share some of them with you. They're just marvelous. Marvelous, because it's exactly what you would hear from any other extremely serious composer. It's right here, School of Ragtime. There it is, in eensy-teensy print. And I really need a magnifying glass, which I happen to have. Look at that. There we go. I came prepared. Here we are. There we go. Remarks. Listen to this. This is the introduction to the School of Ragtime. It's just a couple lines with 6 tiny 4-bar or 8-bar examples. That's all it is. But it's wonderful. Let's see. What is scurrilously called ragtime is an invention that is here to stay. That is now conceded by all classes of musicians that all publications masquerading under the name of ragtime are not the genuine article will be better known when these exercises are studied. That real ragtime of the higher class is rather difficult to play is a painful truth which most pianists have discovered. Syncopations are no indication of light or trashy music, and to shy bricks at hateful ragtime no longer passes for musical culture. To assist amateur players by giving the Joplin rags that weird and intoxicating effect intended by the composer is the subject of this work. Yes! Joplin had an attitude. He took himself very, very seriously. And there are, of course, snake oil salesmen of various types who also take themselves very seriously. But the bottom line is that Joplin had the talent. He had the talent, he had the originality. And in addition to his rags, the ragtime, you also get marches and waltzes. You've got, the waltz Bethina, which I just love, and Solace, that's just the most beautiful piece in the universe. Then you've got the Maple Leaf Rag, which was the piece that made his fortune. Basically, even though he died penniless, it supported him throughout most of his career. And The Entertainer, which was used in the soundtrack to The Sting, along with some other works. These are classic, iconic pieces of piano works, gems in a genre that Joplin invented, essentially, made his own in the higher class of, shall we say, art music ragtime. They've influenced countless other artists and composers of both classical and popular means. For example, William Bolton. It's a combination of William Walton and William Bolcom. No, William Bolcom, whose latest set of piano rags just was released on Hyperion, fabulously played by Marc-André Amelin. Be nice to hear Amelin do some of the Joplin stuff too. That would be fun. But they demand the highest artistry. They repay it. They are as fine and finely chiseled and elegant and delicious as any Chopin mazurka or other dance thing that he did. They are classic additions to the piano repertoire. And this complete set, which is done with such careful attention to, artistic verisimilitude and so much sympathy and affection for the music. There's just nothing like it. So if you get out there and get this, if you don't know this music, get to know it. They're marvelous. It's marvelous. It's as great as anything out there. The only sad thing is that there's so little of it. Joplin wrote about 40 piano pieces. And then we have Tremonisha. That's his entire output. But it's an important output. It's a precious legacy. And it's one that deserves to be categorized as one of the most important recording projects ever. Seriously. So thank you, RCA, finally, for getting Dick Hyman's signal achievement out here. Keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.